Here's what's coming up on Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Life insurance is a great tool for financial planning. Obviously, the death benefit is huge. That's going to help family needs, families' financial futures, things like that. But the living benefits to life insurance are really cool as well.
As it used to be, they could stretch that IRA out, over their life expectancy. That no longer applies. Those must be distributed within 10 years.
Future tax rates are unknown. Talk to me about that.
Well, with our tax environment right now and the way we have it set up, it could be the perfect storm to consider Roth conversion.
Is it fair to say that it's less about the amount of money you have and more about how you plan with it?
That is exactly right, yes. It's more about how you've positioned that money and the planning you've done with that money in order to achieve your goal.
And now, the host of Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Welcome to this week's show.
We've got 30 minutes of great information planned up just for you.
And the show starts right now.
Today on the Roundtable, we're talking about planning for legacy and wealth transfer. Lucas, why is it so important to do legacy planning?
Legacy planning is a great way to have something in place that's going to reflect your last wishes. It's a great way to help your family's financial future, whether that might be children, grandchildren. It's great to have that plan in place because it's also a good way to maybe minimize taxes or even reduce those complications with some of those death benefits and things like that.
Clearly there needs to be an attorney brought in at some point. Do you have these attorney affiliations?
We do have some local partnerships that we work with. It's a great teamwork there. They do their part of the legacy and estate planning. We also help with the account management. So,
Brian, what tools can help in legacy planning?
Well, I'll just start with planning in general to get to know about what their situation, what have you in place already, and what are you thinking about, what's important to you. It goes more into our role of helping them be their, let's say, estate coach, to help them go down that road to determine what's important to them or what they need. Maybe helping them prepare to go see an attorney, to look at what they need that way. Now, as far as some of the things financially we can do, investment-wise and so on, that's where maybe some charitable or maybe positioning assets for legacy, such as Roth IRA again. That's a very popular vehicle to utilize for legacy planning because it goes to the beneficiaries tax-free.
You know, this is another one of those tough topics. When you elect as an advisory firm to become a holistic practitioner of comprehensive wealth management, you got to tackle these big topics, okay? Nobody wants to talk about going to meet the maker, but Father Time wins in the end, and you're going to have to do that. And what I would say, and if I'm going to look at strictly the data on this, Brian and Lucas, that the data is abundantly clear that the men are going to leave before the women. It is just the way that it is, right? So is it fair for me to put a challenge out there to the men viewing today that if you don't have your legacy and estate plan in order, you're creating a lot of chaos for your family, okay? I'm just going by the data. Chances are you're going first. Now might be that time, Brian, to say, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm at least going to get the details. I'm not going to brush this under the rug. Find out what it is that I need to do so that I can potentially put that together for my family. Fair?
Fair. And if you know what you're trying to accomplish, for example, say it is you do determine, I want this piece of my portfolio to be about legacy plan, or maybe it's overall. But the idea, now you can start utilizing programs and products and so on, that is their focus. So that comes down to the true portfolio diversification as part of our TOP program, the tag optimization process. Part of that in looking at it is not only to determine what is this planning about, but then how can we optimize that in that area?
Yeah, and Lucas, I want to point out that I think for a lot of folks, they feel like they've got to do all the homework. they've got to do all the research. And when do I find the time to do that? And I want to just get across, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You've got this wonderful firm that will, for lack of a better term here, hold your hand through this whole process. Here are the things that you need to do to get these things done, to take care of your family and your charities and all those other pieces, right? You will walk them through the process.
Yeah, like you said, we are here with our clients every step of the way. We do the heavy lifting and we do the homework. So typically when we're working with a client, we will ask them for some key information that we need in our planning tools. But from there, we do all of the work to get those plans ready to go and then meet with them again and educate them and inform them on how these plans are.
I love that, by the way. Every step of the way. That's what holistic planning is all about. Right. We're with you every step of the way. Last question for you, Brian. How can taxes impact legacy?
Taxes can make a big difference because the issue is with some of the recent rule changes on IRAs, for example, you used to be able to non-spouse beneficiary. I know that's really a nice way of saying kids and grandkids,
okay,
mostly. But the idea with that is it used to be they could stretch that IRA out, okay, over their life expectancy. That no longer applies. Those must be distributed within 10 years. So therefore, that has really changed the situation we're dealing with because now they become less legacy benefit there. They more of a way of doing it in planning now would be to look at other alternatives. It might mean it's better to get it to a Roth or something that would benefit the children or grandchildren.
Brian, Lucas, thanks so much. Estate planning, wealth transfer, legacy. If these are things that you have some questions about, or maybe you need to button up some loose ends, hey, pick up that phone and give us a call right now. And let us walk you through it step by step. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Now more than ever, it's vitally important to review your current retirement plan and get an educated second opinion. Hi, I'm Lucas Dengler, and for many American retirees and pre-retirees, this is a confusing time. As a local business here in the Quad Cities for over 30 years, we have educated thousands of families on how to retire well through all market conditions. Call now or scan the QR code on the screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Mastering Retirement with TAG. I have the professor with me today. Hey, we got a great topic today. Why consider conversions? Now, we're talking about Roths here. There's a lot of things to consider, but maybe right now could be the best time to be thinking about it because future tax rates are unknown. Talk to me about that.
Well, with our tax environment right now and the way we have it set up, it could be the perfect storm to consider Roth conversions. We have a lot of things going on in this country that could make a difference in the future. We have a national debt that is nearing $37 trillion, and that definitely could have an impact on future tax rates, where tax rates could easily be higher in the future. Because tax rates could be higher in the future, now could be the perfect time to take advantage of a Roth conversion.
And when you do these Roth conversions, I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you find with most people it's a single one-time move and then the tax event takes place in 1 year? Or other times, I'm just going to move a portion per year to sort of minimize that taxes. What is typically done? Could it be both?
It could be both.
Okay.
So we have worked with individuals where it makes sense to rip the Band-Aid all
Right.
at once and take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah.
That does a lot of other things to benefit them, such as maybe those hidden taxes in retirement, such as the Medicare surcharge, or it helps reduce your required minimum distribution.
Right, and there are no required minimum distributions. I want you to talk about that for a second because I don't know if a lot of people know that or not.
Okay, So what happens with it is once you're either 73 or 75 on any pre-tax money like 401k, IRA, things like that, you are going to be required to take some kind of minimum distribution. It's a way of the government getting some dollars back off of that money that's never been taxed. Okay? So the idea of doing some Roth conversions while we are in the tax rate environment we are now is to remove that money. And really what you are saying is you're saying, okay, I'm okay paying the tax now because I believe I'm in one of my lowest tax rates I might ever be in the rest of my life.
So with those deferred accounts, can I move 100% of that money over? Am I only allowed a certain amount per year, per every other year? How does that work?
What we like to say, Mark, is you can move as much as you want to pay tax on.
Gotcha.
So what you want to make sure is when you are doing this type of planning, and we help you go through this, and that is to look at your situation, determine how much tax it would be to do different amounts, and then strategically utilize the current tax laws to take advantage of this.
So it's not like, well, you can only move 20,000 a year or 30,000 a year. There's nothing like that, right? You could do one fell swoop and move it all. That might not be the best way to go about things, but you have the ability to do that if you wanted to.
Correct.
And then what do we set up? And this is what this is all about here, because I think a lot of people don't realize, okay, well, there's 3 types of taxable accounts, right? There's straight up taxable, there's tax deferred, and then the one that we should all be thinking about and planning is
tax-free.
Tax-free, right? And this is one of those ways that we can set up potentially significant tax-free income for retirement, yes?
Right. And you look at the future rates for taxes, they're unknown. Where are we going to have to go in the future to get the kind of revenue that this country needs?
Yeah.
Okay. So the issue there is really when you signed up or started doing your 401k or your 403b, whatever pre-tax account it is, you didn't know what the tax rates would be in the future. We know where they are now, so it may be a really good time to take advantage of that.
Brian, aren't those 3 great words together? Tax-free retirement. You know, maybe you can't have a completely tax-free retirement, but certainly how wonderful would it be to have that amount of money? So let's talk about it. How important is taxes, or are taxes rather, for most retirees in retirement? Because I don't know if pre-retirees and retirees understand, hey, there are things that you can do so that you only have to give Uncle Sam what is necessary and potentially not a nickel more.
Right. Well, the one thing that is certain in retirement, what you're trying to do is get to keep as much money as you can. And that's the difference of when you look at this type of planning, you're going into it from the issue, it should be a major concern if it's not, because you can only spend what you get to keep.
And we've already lightly discussed this, but what we didn't talk about is essentially taxes are on sale right now. So when I do this conversion, someone does this conversion, what do they get? You can pay taxes at today's tax rates because we don't know where taxes are going in the future.
Right, a lot of the assessment we give and go through with people is to look at their actual situation. So we have worked with many people on this topic and we've gone through it and so on. The first thing we do is assess their current tax situation and look at it to say, what if you never did it? What if you wouldn't convert anything to Roth? Okay, how would it look throughout retirement?
Right.
Then we do another scenario where we say, okay, what if you would do some planning? And then you get strategic to say, well, the sweet spot may be here. Okay, and that's how you move forward to determine what's right for your situation.
Absolutely. Such great information today, Brian. Thank you so much. Why consider conversions to the Roth? If you want more information about this topic, hey, give us a call in the office. We'd love to share more information with you. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
We can talk all day about Social Security, taxes, healthcare, income, and risk. But the truth is, your financial journey is unlike anyone else's. Hi, I'm Brian Nauman with the Advisory Group. Even a small difference like your age, assets, risk tolerance, or longevity can mean a big shift in your retirement strategy. That's why we created our customized TOP program. It focuses on the 6 most important issues that can help you make the most of every dollar you've saved for retirement. With over 30 years experience, we've developed a holistic, personalized approach to financial planning that puts you first. Please don't leave your financial future to chance. Call today or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's True or False. Guys, I've got some great questions. Brad, Lucas, are we ready?
We're ready.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Lucas, I'll begin with you. First question. Most retirees and pre-retirees are not concerned about running out of money in retirement. True or false?
I think that's a giant false there. I think a lot of people are worried that they're going to run out of money. I think that's kind of almost a given for most of our clients, and that's why we like to sit down with our clients and reassure them if they're doing the right things, you're going to be fine. We have all different types of tools, programs, software that we can work with our clients to really ensure that trust that they are on the right track. But it is something that you need to stay on top of and check in with as those plans become available to know that you are on the right track, because there is the possibility that you could run out of money. But we're here to help people, out of that.
I think part of that fear is clearly we know that we can make adjustments to lifestyle, but people don't want to do that, right? They want to maintain their lifestyle through retirement. Correct. And the thought of moving back in with their kids, well, that's a big old no-go, baby.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I love that you guys sit down with people and you show them, hey, here is an income plan, which, as we know from talking on past shows, not every advisor sets up a true income plan. This is what you're going to receive every month of every year for your natural life. So that's really, really important to give people that peace of mind.
Correct.
Definitely.
Brad, next question for you. Medicare will cover all healthcare expenses in retirement. True or false?
That is false. This is a very common misconception. A lot of people think once you hit Medicare, you just don't have healthcare costs anymore, that it's all covered. And it can kind of feel that way because Medicare does cover a lot of your healthcare expenses once you're 65 or older. But the biggest one that people forget about is long-term care. That is a healthcare cost, but Medicare does not cover long-term care. And if you look at the numbers, long-term care is going to be the bulk of your health care costs in retirement if you need long-term care.
And the numbers that I've seen suggest that up to 70% of all of us are going to require long-term care at some point. And I think a lot of people don't factor in, because that's not going to happen to me, Brad. Lucas, that's not happening to me.
Yeah.
That's somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it is you, and you need to have those numbers figured out, because let's take a second and talk about that. What are some of those long-term fees? Like if I go into a facility or I have someone come over, just give me broad brushstroke.
So in Davenport, for instance, the numbers I know off the top of my head, it can be anywhere from $4,000 a month up to $12,000 a month. We have clients who pay $12,000 a month for long-term care.
And that's coming out of their pocket potentially because they don't have some sort of long-term care insurance.
Because they don't have a plan.
They don't. That's the better word.
That's
they
the
don't
better
have
way
a
to
plan.
put it. Because some people want to pay it out of pocket. They want to pay it out of their
Self-insured.
investment. That's called self-insuring. And that's fine. You should just know how it's going to work. And you should be able to project, and that's something we can help you with, how that is going to affect your portfolio. But it's possible that there are options that can minimize that hit to your portfolio, and all you're doing is taking a portion of it and redirecting it somewhere else that has an added benefit for long-term care.
Yeah, and I want to take a second to talk about that because the misconception can potentially be that the only way I can get long-term care is with long-term care insurance, which is expensive, but there are other products in the senior market today, correct?
Oh, definitely.
That offer that,
Yeah.
and you might not have so take a second and talk about that.
So what a lot of people worry about with long-term care insurance, or what we call traditional long-term care insurance, is that it's use it or lose it. So if you don't use it for long-term care, then you paid a premium for no reason. Nowadays, they've kind of corrected a lot of those issues. And so there's many programs that offer death benefits or act as an investment. So if you don't use it for long-term care, it's still an investment, or it still provides some death benefit for your estate. And then in addition to that, they've gotten rid of the underwriting requirements on certain programs. And so no matter your health or your age, we can usually find a solution for you.
Wow. Lucas, final question for you. Life insurance, which we were just talking about, can only be used for death benefits. True or false?
That's going to be false. Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of Brad, life insurance is a great tool for financial planning. Obviously, the death benefit is huge. That's going to help family needs, families' financial futures, things like that. But the living benefits to life insurance are really cool as well. Plans like whole life insurance will accumulate cash value inside of it that you could withdraw from. It's not a loan.
You're taxed on that when you
not.
withdraw?
You are not.
No tax.
And you don't have to pay it
Tax-free,
back.
baby.
Tax-free. We love that.
Yeah.
But there's also riders, long-term care insurance riders. There's other great living benefits while someone is still living to take advantage of life insurance policies.
Brad, Lucas, thanks so much. Great topics today. If you want information on any of these, pick up the phone right now. Give us a call. We'd love to start a conversation with you. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Now more than ever, it's vitally important to review your current retirement plan and get an educated second opinion. Hi, I'm Lucas Dengler, and for many American retirees and pre-retirees, this is a confusing time. As a local business here in the Quad Cities for over 30 years, we have educated thousands of families on how to retire well through all market conditions. Call now or scan the QR code on the screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Ask Tag, where you email your questions into us and we answer them right here on the show. Gentlemen, I've got some great questions this week. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Brian, my first one is for you, and it's from Robert in Davenport. And he writes, I have 3 401ks sitting at my old companies and a 4th at my current company. I'm 62 years old, and these 4 401ks represent all of my retirement savings. I'm looking for some ideas on how to position myself for retirement. Help.
It's a great question. We get that a lot in our office, and a lot of times what happens is people just don't know what to do with their 401k after they leave that company. We have a lot of ways we can help you look at that. Planning is the key, so we start with looking at what is the purpose of those programs. A lot of times it could maybe be future income. It could be something that you need to just consolidate, look for better investment options. Any way that you can look at it, but planning is the key to really help you look at where that money needs to be for your future to make it very stable, solid, and looking at risk and different areas. But if you come into our office and meet with us, we can definitely help you look at that situation.
Brian, would you say it's a standard rule of thumb that if you're not at that company, chances are your money shouldn't be there either because you potentially have more options with it? Fair statement?
Yeah, that's a fair statement. But a lot of it comes back to why and what and how you want it in your life, so and what you want it to do for you.
Brad, my next question is for you, and it's from Geraldine in Bettendorf, and she writes, I'm trying to figure out if we can retire. We are both in our early 60s, and we're wondering if $350,000 is enough to retire on today. We are not big spenders and are willing to make changes in our lifestyle if necessary. Thoughts?
Well, Geraldine, I'm hearing a couple good things there. I'm hearing that you are willing to limit your expenses in retirement. I'm hearing that you are already a pretty frugal person, which is good. That's always a good thing in retirement. Now, as whether or not $350,000 is enough for you to retire, that's a very specific question. That's something we could help you decide. For some people, that would be plenty. For some people, it would be nowhere nearly enough. But for you, it might work. That's something we'd love to help you look at.
You know, Brad, remember those commercials where they were walking through the park and there was the number over their heads? What's your number? What's your number, right? This one had 1 million some odd. This one had 800 and some odd. Is it fair to say that it's less about the amount of money you have and more about how you plan with it?
That is exactly right. Yes. It's more about how you've positioned that money and the planning you've done with that money in order to achieve your goals, whatever your goals may be. It sounds like for you it's a comfortable retirement, and that might be possible, but it takes planning.
And I'll have a quick follow-up to that, because we've talked about this before. Two people can go to two different advisors. I'll make up a number right now. They have $500,000. One plans one way, one plans another. One of those plans with the same amount of money could be a significant difference in the amount of income that you will have through your retirement. Fair statement?
That is absolutely correct. It all depends on the plan. So two different people with the same amount of money could end up in a very different place. One of them may be able to retire and one may not. It all depends on how they structure that money in their financial plan.
Brian, last question for you, and it's from Carl in Moline. A dear family member has just passed away and has left us a considerable amount of money. The money is well over $1 million. We are very concerned about how much in taxes we will have to pay. What can we do to reduce the amount of taxes on this?
Well, Carl, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. But there are a lot of things you can do within planning and the things that you can come in and look at within your situation. We have many times worked with people just in this particular situation. A lot of it is planning on looking at what you think your money wants to do. Taxes are part of it, but taxes is not all of what you may want to consider. Other things that come into play, is there a legacy involved that not only maybe that came to you this way, but is that something that's important to you to do within your family? So we just would start with obviously getting together, going through your situation, looking at what it means to you and what it is and what's important to you within your life and how it fits into other areas and other dollars that you have within your life.
Brad, Brian, thanks so much. If you'd like to have your question answered here on the show, it's super easy. Just email that on into us and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
We can talk all day about Social Security, taxes, healthcare, income, and risk. But the truth is, your financial journey is unlike anyone else's. Hi, I'm Brian Nauman with the Advisor Group. Even a small difference like your age, assets, risk tolerance, or longevity can mean a big shift in your retirement strategy. That's why we created our customized TOP program. It focuses on the 6 most important issues that can help you make the most of every dollar you've saved for retirement. With over 30 years experience, we've developed a holistic, personalized approach to financial planning that puts you first. Please don't leave your financial future to chance. Call today or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisor Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Thanks for watching today's show.
And if you want more information about anything we spoke about here today, give us a call in the office or go to our website.
The Advisor Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.